Welcome back, guys, to more of a throwback Boom Beach video than a regular Boom Beach video. You're like, Christian, what account are you on currently? Well, today, guys, I'm going to be showing you all of our previous task forces and kind of explain the history of our channel, Boom Beach-wise. It's going to be a very fun episode, and I hope you guys will stick around for it. Anyway, guys, let's get started. So, this account is Sunny. Obviously, because of the name. This was my older brother's Boom Beach account. He played on it a little bit. It used to be my backup account, but I stopped playing on it. And yeah, I never really played on it. And I haven't been on this account in a very long time, 200 days maybe. And so 41, it goes back so far, like past the previous update, where the log isn't even showing up anymore. But if you guys don't know, if you're offline for more than 72 hours, you won't appear on other player bases. I logged on, then logged off, and as soon as I logged back on, I appeared on someone's base and they started attacking me. So that goes to show you how fast we put on people's maps. But let's jump into it. Our very first task force. I'm guaranteeing you that maybe only one person that watches our channel on a daily basis will know of our very first task force. We created it the second Boom Beach task forces dropped, and because of it, our tag, well, first the name of it, guys, is of course Intelizer. I'll get into the name a little bit later, but the tag is only 6 letters long. And if you look at the current ones, we'll just look at rejects, redo, and because that was a fairly recent task force, that was a tag of 8. So it goes to show you how, like, 2 character letters, like 6 is very hard to get. I believe you can go down to 3. So like we could type in hashtag Y99 and we'll get one of the very first task forces ever. But yeah, this is our very first task force. Jimmy and I heard about task forces coming up soon, and we were like, okay, let's we're gonna create one of our own. It was a 10-man team. We started out at 5-man, and we used to be called Extreme Boomers. It's just kind of funny looking back at it now. And if we go to my log, you'll see here that we could go all the way back up, and it goes back 867 days. None of these people watch our channel anymore, so I can hate on them as much as I want. Grove and MZ guys, those were our guys. They helped so much. They were actually pretty good, and we had a bunch of amazing players in this task force. And Jimmy's account used to be called Extreme Teens. It's just kind of funny. And then everyone left, and we're back to where we were. So guys, I'm not going to be doing this for every single task force, but we can go into our most recent operations and just look at it. We can't view the attacks, which kind of sucks, but we can go back and look at it, and it's just so cool looking. And the Gunboat Energy 11.9, how can you even have a decimal number for all of these? I don't know why, but it's so funny going back and looking at it now. And a little note, guys, this task force actually used to be number 2 on the leaderboard. If you go into our stats, it won't say number 2 or highest leaderboard position reached, because when task forces first dropped, they didn't track how high you got up. So we actually got 2nd, which is still kind of cool. And we just dropped a dead account in here just to hold the task force. Moving on, guys, our channel used to be called Extreme Boomers. So moving on, we created a task force called Extreme Boomers. Not that one. And I put my Absolution account in it. My Absolution account was my account that I couldn't place defenses on. We clickbaited the crap out of that series, but don't worry, I'm not doing it anymore, guys. But we have one level 1 sniper tower here, and this account is also a dead account. So Extreme Boomers was a fun task force. We go into stats. All of those are going to be 0 because, again, this was before the stats came out pretty much. But we only started 2 operations in this task force, and I don't know why it was so little. and it seems like we just dropped a bunch of intel and left. So maybe we could always do, well, I'm not sure I can get into this account anymore, but we could always do an intel competition maybe, or operation task force battle. I don't know. Next. Okay, so next on the list, I pretty much stopped all of my, currently, this is what I can remember. I pretty much stopped making my own task forces, and I joined Reversal's task force. Now, I stayed in Reversal's task force not very long. It was only a couple weeks, and I was very disappointed because they ended up kicking me because they didn't attack an ops, which I understand now. But it was just kind of funny when it happened. I made a whole video about that. I'll try to remember to put cards on the screen as I'm referencing these old videos. But basically, I got kicked from Redemption after being there a couple weeks, learning a lot about AZ. So I decided to go off and create my own task force. I called it the Rejects, not the just Rejects. Now, I'm not even sure I can find it anymore. I'll try to find it. But I'm pretty sure Jimmy has like a dead account in it, but it's all lowercase. And yeah, I'm not sure if I can find it. Yeah, it doesn't even look like it's coming up anymore. So it was just kind of interesting when it happened. I created a task force just because I wanted to make. I was rejected from Reversals, so I created a task force where all the rejects could come. Oh, here we go. All the rejects can come together and have a little fun. Jimmy has his dead account in here to hold the task force. We got to the highest leaderboard of 800, and we actually did pretty well in this task force. We did a lot of operations, 249 operations in this task force. We spent a lot of time here. This task force was one of our bigger task forces. There came a time when it started dying also, so we couldn't do much anymore. So what we had to do was we decided to downsize to a 25-man task force, and we called it the Rejects Redo. And we're starting to get to our newer task force family. This is not it. It was a 25-man task force, and I believe Jimmy has a couple accounts in it. I don't know what this is. A lot of people, this is when our channel started getting bigger. So a lot of people made spin-off task forces called the Rejects Redux also, which is kind of interesting. That's it, this one? Yeah. So I dropped my dead account in it. I have so many dead accounts, but I dropped a dead account in it along with all these other dead accounts, and we started pushing. This task force, we spent a lot of time on. We actually tried to get as high as we could, and we ended up getting to 240 on the leaderboard, or a little less, or a little better. So 238 on the leaderboard, which is very interesting, and almost 23,000 force points, which is very cool. We spent a lot of time on this task force as well. So this one was a very fun one to play in. This is when our channel was starting to blow up. We were getting so much more views. We had a lot more fun. Well, I mean, I'm not saying we don't have fun now, but you guys know what I mean. This task force was a blast compared to the previous task forces. But there came a time. Well, first, we decided to branch out, because this is the time when our channel started blowing up for good, and a lot of people wanted to join our task forces. So we decided to create a task force called the Mini Rejects, and this one was a fun one because all the lower level players can have a home also and kind of play in the Reject family as well. We got 21,000 force points held, the highest amount, and we kind of dropped since then. It seems like they're hurting a little bit. I'm not in this task force anymore. I started it and left it after spending a good amount of time on it. I'm just way too busy right now to join with my second account, but that was a very fun task force. All of our lower levels can come in. We also started a new task force to hold lower level players, and they're always full, which blows my mind. And These players are a beast, guys. The task force is pretty much always full, and it seems like they have a lot of fun here, so I'm glad. A lot of people, a lot of old viewers. Always a winner. Very old viewer. Lucas, very old viewer. Fish, also. Just a lot of old viewers. And I don't want to be mean by not saying someone's name, but I'm just saying, overall, we have a lot of old viewers that might be watching this video, but I'm guaranteeing you, no one was here since Intelizer. But there came a time for the Rejects redo to end. So we decided to create 2 10-man teams to try to push for the leaderboards. We have the red team and we have the black team. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about these teams, but stuff might be happening soon where we may be closing the black team, but I'm not going to talk about that today, guys. But I hope you guys did enjoy this little history of our channel, kind of seeing what our task force family was like in the past, how much we have grown as task force players, and overall just how much fun we've had since we started doing task forces. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to drop a like. As always, I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.